Aloha, I'm Lyla Berg. Mahalo for tuning in to Island Focus. Today's program is the second of a two-part series about the organizations who are addressing the needs of society. We're taping the show remotely so you can meet the people who are helping us fulfill our role in contributing to the well-being of Hawaii. Thank you for joining us at Island Focus. Thank you, Mitch, for being with us as the district governor of Hawaii Lions Clubs. That's a big responsibility.
It can be construed as a big responsibility, but it's not that difficult or challenging because we have such a great membership of Lions Club members across the state.
Can you share with us where you're located, how many clubs, and all the wonderful people that are involved?
Sure. So I'm located in Kailua Kona, Hawaii. We actually have 58 Lions Clubs located on Kauai, Oʻahu, Molokai, Lanai, Maui, and of course, Hawaii Island, with over 1,575 members. We also sponsor and mentor 28 Leo clubs throughout the state of Hawaii. That consists of 26 high schools and 2 community-based Leo clubs, which is something new. The Leo clubs are made up of high school age students. And so we work with them to help mentor and educate them on values and the importance of giving back to the community through volunteer work.
You know, the Lions Clubs have been around for quite a while and have been filling the pukas, right? Filling the places in our community where needs are. What are you seeing as new needs or different ways in which Lions Clubs members are participating?
You know, with the pandemic, there was a whole set of new challenges that came up, not being able to volunteer in person, or, you know, the needs of the community kind of shifted a little bit. In years past, we would concentrate on health or hearing and vision screenings, environmental projects. But with the pandemic, we slowly had to shift. Actually, we had to shift gears rather quickly and partner with food banks and other nonprofits that were distributing or collecting food, as well as a lot of our clubs shifted gears and started manufacturing and distributing PPE or face masks across the state. Yeah, so it's a different challenge, different world. Not being able to meet in person has been quite a challenge for our members also, because one of the things we enjoy is each other's company, as well as seeing our community members smile and thank us, or, you know, let us experience their pain or their suffering, what they need. You're missing that element. So it's been really different this year.
Yes. And what are you noticing in the Leo clubs? Because they are so vibrant. They're such a vibrant part of the high school.
They were having a difficult time too, not being able to attend school in person in the beginning. So they've embraced community service work that, you know, they do, as well as partner with our sponsoring Lions Clubs. One of the things we try to do is let the Leos decide what type of projects they do. And so they've done various different projects like planting and weeding, especially native Hawaiian plants. They've also come out at the food drives, really amazing bunch of kids that are just, you know, wanting to be engaged in person, just like everyone else. And so it's a breath of fresh air being able to see. We have 915 Leos across the state, and it's a breath of fresh air to see them embrace giving back to the community.
You know, I'm always touched when I see young people actually enjoying themselves, and I'd like to reframe that by saying they're paying it forward.
Yeah, they are paying it forward, and they're having fun at the same time, which is why it's very important that we allow them to dictate the projects they want to do, because then it's their idea, their project, and so it's their true reward versus an adult or auntie, uncle, you know, asking them to come and help. And they're happy to come out and help, but they need some type of reward. And so, slowly as the pandemic slowly fades away, hopefully we can safely continue to mentor and serve with them in person.
And what might be a closing comment that you would make to the community or to Leo's, to those of us who are watching?
One of the biggest needs with service organizations such as ours and Rotarians and Kiwanis is our inability to attract new members. And so it's very important for service organizations like ours to come together and start working with each other. If we cannot find the volunteers to do it, and we're all like-minded volunteers, we need to set aside our pride and the want to get credit for the service we do and just get it done, because we know that our county and our state cannot get it done by themselves. And that's what we're supposed to be here for, to support the county and state, allow them to take away the red tape, which will allow us to get projects and other things done in our state.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And I'm going to hold the image of us holding hands together when we're able.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Aloha.
You've just had the opportunity to meet Mitchell Tam, District Governor for the Lions Clubs of Hawaii. Mahalo, both of you, for taking the time to be with us today and sharing about Project Hawaiʻi. Could you, as the founders, give us a little more background on what that is and why it got started and how we can help?
Project Hawaiʻi is a nonprofit organization solely dependent on public donations and volunteers. And we try to have the children, the homeless children, succeed through getting them out of homelessness.
So you have centers or locations on several different islands.
We do island-wide on all of the islands, but Oʻahu, Big Island, and currently we just started in Maui. So our goal overall is to be able to help all of the Hawaiian islands have programs in place that allow homeless children to succeed.
And I'm very touched because you're focusing on children. How did that come about? Because homelessness is such a huge topic.
Yes. Well, I was a homeless child. I grew up in that environment and that lifestyle. So I know there's a better way. And I know a lot of the times it's just that one person that can connect with you that helps succeed. And we truly take that to heart. We know we might be these children's one and only chance. It might be a one-time encounter. It might be their lifetime. But our purpose is to help them gain the self-esteem, the self-worth, and to understand the importance of education so that they can escape that cycle.
And so what are your programs and what is Project Hawaiʻi in terms of the services you provide?
So we do have a monthly outreach program, which we do visit with all of the children on all of the islands monthly, provide them with their basic care needs like hygiene, meal cards, just whatever they might need at the time. And then we have our holiday program. So every holiday is covered. They will get gifts from Santa delivered by elves. They'll meet the Easter Bunny, get an Easter basket. So all of the holidays are covered, allowing them to feel like children so that they can have a childhood memory that brings joy. And then our life-changing programs are the summer education programs, our teen mentoring program, the junior leader program, and we are creating a dormitory now for girls to go to college. So those are like the main programs.
And people that become the elves at Christmas and the Easter Bunny, they're volunteers?
Yes, we are solely supported by volunteers. We founded the program with that principle. We feel that those who care and have that extra time and that passion in their life will find this as one of their missions in life and give to the kids. The majority of our volunteers have been with us since 2003. Of course, we do get new volunteers come on here and there, and maybe they're here for one holiday or one time, but the core foundation is built on those core people who have been here from day one.
I'm hearing, Cliff, from Megan that it's a personal mission for her. You came on as a businessman, as an educator.
Well, it started on summer camp. When I went to the first time went to her summer camp, it was like chaotic. It was chaos. She was running all over the place, and it was really dangerous. And I think it was there were too much children on there. So I said, we can't save them all, but we can help them by limiting the kids that come in over here, like in a classroom, because you cannot do this with 90 to 100 kids on even on a playground. That's too much. So we started from there.
And organizing the activities so that it was manageable.
Yeah, I called her organized chaos.
Yeah.
I said, let me just take the chaos away and try to help you organize this. And then we started from there. And then the kids got a lot more one-on-one with learning. And so what we did, we just separated things and.
And the way the community got more involved, once I had a plan, his plan, right? Once we had a plan, it's easier for people to come in.
Yeah.
So it's called Share Your Talent Days. We allow the community to share their talent. That might be dance, that might be a cultural event, might be music, might be science. We had people coming out of the woodwork to give these children a 3-hour presentation activity, and that's what really brought the growth in. We could see the change.
It was almost like a summer educational camp.
Yeah.
So we put curriculums inside there.
So in closing, Cliff, what should we be thinking about?
The voices of the children, and this is what we hear them say, that they need help in any way that they can to help them succeed, to help them get away from homelessness. They see us, we see them as ohana. We see them, this is a kako thing, and ohana, they are part of the lahui.
And really what I hear you saying is that the responsibility is on us to open our hearts, to embrace these children as children, that they didn't choose the situation they're in, and how can we make it easier, better, and actually by helping them, we're also helping their parents.
Yes.
100%.
100%. Kiki o kaina. Yeah. Imua kako.
Thank you so much for taking the time and for your vision. And we will look forward to more conversations in the future.
Oʻahu.
Ahui-ho.
We've just spoken with Cliff Kama and Megan Patrick, founders of Project Hawaiʻi. Thank you, John, for joining us today. I know as a teacher, you're a full-time Kiwanis member, but also engaged in the community. Can you share with us what is the Kiwanis Club? Where are you located? And what can we look forward to knowing about you?
Thank you very much for having me. The Kiwanis Club in the state of Hawaii, we are Division 22, and we have 10 clubs in the state, 2 on the Big Island, 3 on Maui, 4 here on Oʻahu, and 1 on Kauai. A lot of our goals for Kiwanis as a whole is to focus on one child, one community at a time. So our primary focus is to work with the youth in our community.
As a teacher at Kaiser High School, you are the Key Club advisor. Can you talk more about those clubs?
In our state, if I'm not mistaken, we're approximately about 26 high schools participate in Key Club. So we have lots of Key Clubbers out there, and we're supported. We broke them up into 3 smaller divisions so that the Kiwanis clubs can help and separate. And what's really nice about being a faculty advisor, one of my goals is to work with them on their leadership, because it allows our average member to just come in and participate in community service, allows them to get in, get their hands dirty, work with a group, give back to the community. And also, there's a lot of emphasis on working on our officers so that they can plan, they can organize, they can, figure out what they need to do to make sure a service project can go smooth.
And at this particular time in Hawaii's history, our social conditions have significantly changed. What have you noticed, and how is Kiwanis addressing that?
One of the things that is a hard thing is with all of our protocols that have kept us apart. It's been one thing to try to find ways to keep giving service back to the community. So we have lots of programs that we've try to do virtual, whether it's going to be card making for like hospitals, whether it's going to be, food or clothing drives, whether it's going to be school supplies drives. A lot of the things that we keep doing, the goal was to, how do we keep going? Because right at the beginning of 2 years ago, when we had to shut down, there was a lot of like, what do we do now? And so it took us just a little bit of time to go, all right, let's get ourselves rolling again. Let's get ourselves, reaching out to our community partners to say, what can we still do, even if we can't be there in person?
And what I hear you saying is actually the social conditions of what we talk about still exist. Maybe it's a little bit much more dramatic now because of the numbers of people, but certainly because of the inability to get out and be with people, as you're saying. In closing, what is a message that you can give to us from the Kiwanis perspective?
It's a lot about all of us pulling together to do a little bit to make a larger impact. As we work together, there's more things we can do as a group than any individual could do on their own. So we always look for working with our Kiwanis groups, whether we're going to partner with an outside organization to do another combined project, whether it's going to be, we have our Kiwanis project, but we partner with our student leadership programs, our key clubs, to say, come on, now we have a lot more bodies to do the same kind of task. We have a large group to do a large project. So the idea of coming together to do service, many hands make light work.
And what I love in your enthusiasm is that you trust that the young people not only want to help, but that they have the heart of Hawaii in mind. That's what we do here, is we work with each other. And just a brief success story, if you can just close with that.
For me, as a teacher, I always recognize the success of the students. So being able to see the students do projects has always impressed me, the way they come out. And you think I have a lot of energy, they always come out with tons more. So hearing about, in East Hawaii with Hilo and Waiakea doing school supply drive, hearing when we have clubs on Maui, Kauai, and Oʻahu, just coming together to do, whether it's going to be card making to give to, that they can put little tray toppers for the hospitals. I had my kids work and make little pillows so that people that are bedridden we can avoid, pressure sores from being stuck in bed. So it's super interesting. It's super nice to share the creative project of the kids. And a lot of times when we were getting on in the beginning of COVID, we sometimes look at the key clubbers and say, oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that with them. And it keeps some of us Kiwanis members feeling a little more younger to be dealing with a lot of our SLP key clubbers.
I'm sure that's true from your perspective as an adult, and I would suspect the young people feel respected and valued, and that they have something really substantive to contribute to the organization and to Hawaii.
It has been super helpful to have the key clubbers and to work with them on their leadership.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you need to go back to class. We'll talk with you again. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
We've just spoken with Jonathan Oshiro, the Lieutenant Governor for the Kiwanis Clubs in Hawaii. Mahalo for being with us, Lena. So please explain to us the history of IHS and where are we now in our society in terms of IHS's role?
IHS has been around since the early 1980s. It started off with ministry on the street and turned into shelter, and now we've expanded into a full spectrum of services. We are now Hawaii's largest provider of homeless services in the state. And really what I see IHS as is an extension of our community. We're a gathering place for people to serve and provide volunteer time and efforts to really help address the issues of our community so that we can all help our community move forward together.
What have you noticed since the 80s that we can address right now?
The client that we used to serve in the 80s was our neighborhood alcoholic. It was somebody who had stumbled on difficult times. It was the single mother who was trying to get out of domestic violence or a poor situation. And what we've done is we're still seeing that population, but we've been able to address some of those individuals. We've had a reduction in 43% in the past 5 years in family homelessness, but the other populations still remain. We're also seeing an increase in those with mental illness, those who are medically frail, those who are elderly, and also those who are having substance abuse issues.
And how is IHS funded?
IHS is funded through our generous community supporters, and it's really the generosity of talent and labor and also dollars of our community who rise to the occasion and open up their checkbooks. We also have government grants who help fund our programs such as outreach and homeless prevention, where we're able to help provide rental relief, security deposits to those who are coming off of the street, and also to help individuals who are in housing but in unstable situations stay housed. We also have outreach efforts and shelter as well.
With the complexity of the issue and all the different facets that your organization is addressing, what can a citizen do in Hawaii? How can we approach this personally?
We really are the answer, each one of us. Every homeless person has the same needs that you or I have. So if we need a haircut, so do they. If we need a dental appointment, so do they. So we as citizens of Hawaii, when we extend ourselves by offering our time and our talent and our abilities, we're able to rise out of the situation together and help support each other.
And do you have training programs or preparation programs for the public, so that we are more comfortable as we come in and volunteer our services?
We have volunteer opportunities in our health clinics. We have volunteer opportunities to help serve hot meals. We love it when our community members come into our specialty shelters, our medical respite, and just talk story with some of our kupuna. There's a lot of stigma around being homeless, but some of the populations that we're currently serving, like our kupuna, have fallen on hard times, and they're just like you or I. So having somebody supportive and loving, just having a good conversation with them really goes a long way. So we always have open doors to volunteers of all types.
Given the complexities of what we're all dealing with and facing and approaching here in Hawaii, where is IHS now going?
Lyla, we're really hoping to have a population-centered approach where we're addressing individuals who have substance use issues, mental health needs, who are elderly and frail, and providing a safe space for them at our 551 Dillingham location. What we're hoping to do is identify individuals in the community who are homeless and have higher needs, pull them off of the street in partnership with CORE and HPD, community business members and individuals, really helping to get these people transitioned to the right place. We can stabilize them, get them the help they need, if it's detox services, mental health services, and help transition them to permanent supportive housing where they'll really be supported in a long-term manner in the best setting. So that's our next goal at IHS, and we're really excited for how that will help the community when we can partner together and make that successful.
In parting, what might you say to help us regain our balance so that we can be of service to those folks that you are servicing?
I think the past 2 years have been challenging, but it's also taught each one of us resilience. We've gone through hard times, so we all know that the plight of humanity and suffering is something we now all share together. We're all in this together, and if we can pull together and support one another through COVID, through mental illness, through building resiliency and building community, we will be better off together in Hawaii.
Thank you so much for sharing your time and your mana'o and also the work of the Institute of Human Services. Mahalo, Lena.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me in my conversation with Lena Ijasik, who is the Chief Administrative Officer with Institute for Human Services. Thank you for joining us today on Island Focus. I'm Lyla Berg. Take care of yourselves, and let's work together to make our island home a place where everyone feels cared for and safe. On behalf of the Island Focus crew and the entire staff at Ōlelo Community Media, aloha and malamapona. See you soon.